One question related to egos. Now, obviously, when you talk of cricket teams, I mean, Indian team or any other team, when the team does really well, you tend to have really big performers. And even in corporate sector, that tends to happen that you have such big heavyweights in the team, getting all of them to work together becomes a challenge. So what are the sporting learnings? Are there any interesting learnings with relating to managing egos and getting everyone? I mean, it's the opposite question to what I asked previously related to leaders. But
one of the things we often ask is, if you're captain of the West Indies in the 80s or 90s, if you're captain of Australia around the turn of the century, it must have been very easy to be captain, right? Because everyone knows what to do. But within that side are some outstanding performers. All outstanding performers have an ego.
Yep.
Sometimes I think having an ego up to a point actually gives you the self-belief and the confidence to weather the opposition. Because you can say, I am somebody, tu game kara, main bhi koi. But if ego goes beyond that, it becomes disruptive. But within a side, there are now 10 egos, right? For all they know, the captain has an ego of his own. So there's 11 egos in the side. It's not about where first slip should be, but it's about the 10 egos playing for each other. And that is why man managers are so important in sport, as in business.
Actually, that is the leader's job, to understand people and to see what works for them. How do you channelize your energies and your ego into doing something positive for the team? Most of the time, people who have egos are also hugely talented, right? How do you make it work for the team? And again, saying what he said, Michael Holding told us that, Clive Lloyd had such a good team, but yet he took the effort to understand every player. And he wanted to earn the respect of every player. That's why people respected him, and he also respected players. And he got them to work as a team.
If you're a leader with an ego, you will say, you know what, I'm the leader, this is what I say. And the people will say, yeah, okay, man. Or you can say, I'm the leader, you are going to win me matches. How can I make you feel great about being in my team? It's a completely different setup. And you'll find that the best leaders will get the best out of their match winners because, as she said, they take the trouble to respect their teammates. And that is what great teams are built around. And we were very lucky in India. I mean, around the turn of the century, you had a magnificent group of people coming up. They all grew up together. But by 2003-04, when India were playing some of the best cricket, you had Sehwag, Dravid, Lakshman, Ganguly, Tendulkar, Kumble, Zahir Khan was coming up, Srinath was maybe just on the way out. You had magnificent people. So why did India do well? It is because one ego, the egos were there, mind you. Of course Rahul Dravid has an ego. Of course VVS Lakshman has an ego. We talk about Ganguly and Kumble and the others. But the egos, one ego didn't come in the way of the other ego performing because of respect for each other.
Sure.
And I think that is the climate that the leader creates.
And they were all team players. They didn't come and disrupt the team. They all worked for the good of the team. That is very important, because there's no point being very talented if you cannot work in a team. Like I said earlier, that is a skill that you just need to have. And sometimes people are very selfish and people are very insecure, and so they are not great team players. That is very important.
By the way, people with large egos are also very insecure. People with large egos are very insecure people because they've seen what they had and they don't want to lose it. So handling egos is also a matter of handling insecurity. And in high-level sport, there is so much insecurity because that is the only thing you're good at. And if you don't do that, oops, so what am I doing tomorrow morning? I'm standing at the airport, no one's looking at me, thinking, hey, it's got drop kiya hai.
Yep.
So handling insecurities is such a big part of managing teams. And I don't know if we do that enough with managers. Do we understand the insecurities that managers are going through? Because tomorrow the managers think, if I get sacked, my EMIs are not getting sacked, then what happens to me? So I think at the core of all sport is understanding people. And at the core of all great leadership in sport is understanding people. Strategy is okay, it's one part of. It's a nice word, it makes for good conferences. It makes for very stylish discussions. We're talking about strategy. Strategy is all right. I mean, everyone got strategy, right? It's not that your strategy is lesser than mine or mine's lesser than yours or hers is so great that I could never have thought of it. There are intelligent people everywhere. No? If you say, you know what, my company's got a great strategy, doesn't mean the other guys are all buffoons over there. They also have great strategy, right? But it's what you do. It's about handling people that eventually determines. Too much gyan came. No?